Good morning. It is Saturday, November 9th, and I'm here in my backyard in Muskoka, and today I'm going to waterproof my canvas hot tents, my big homemade hot tent and my solo. Hopefully it goes well. Alright, that one's done. Alright, so there's quite a few different ways to waterproof the canvas tents, and I had a lot of trouble finding information. I decided to go with the Woods waterproofing. It's about $55 a can, and you can get them at Canadian Tire. Hopefully it does the job. According to the directions on the can, you're supposed to apply this when it's 18 degrees Celsius or warmer. Unfortunately, it's November, and that's not going to happen. It's about 4 degrees here right now, but I brought my thermometer outside and I put it in the sunshine, and it's reading 26. So I'm figuring as long as I'm in the sun, and I will be all afternoon, I should be good to go. Fingers crossed again. This will be the best option I have this week. Now, I did take a sample piece of canvas and I treated it earlier today, and you can't even tell where it is. I can just see a little bit of a shadow where I applied it. You probably can't even pick it up on the camera, but seems to be fine. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to damage it at all. This is my baby. I made this by myself. It's homemade, 100%. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was going to be okay before I applied it to the whole tent. So let's get started. This product is applied with a paintbrush, so all you do is basically paint it on. All right, it's 1:30. I've been at it for quite some time. I did the whole side here up to the seam down there. Seam in the front, seam in the back. I've never actually had water leaking at all in the front or the back. So just because of time and how much product I have, I'm gonna not do the back end and the front end. I'm just gonna do the sides. I got to about here. I had just this little section left, and I finished the first can. So I just opened the second can and finished this part off, and yeah, it looks good. Everything has been absorbed, and looks like this side is already drying quite a bit. This side in the sunshine. And I'm gonna raise the tent now, and I'm gonna keep going on the bottom half. All right, now that it's raised up, you can see how much I've done, and just have this little section to go on either side. And this is the most important part. This is where the snow gets stuck right around this seam here. So I'm gonna do the seam again, and then just do this bottom half, and then I'm gonna let it dry. Hopefully it dries. As I mentioned, the temperature is not exactly optimal. The sun is here, and it's gonna start moving around this way, and hopefully it hits the other side of the tent soon and helps it to dry as well. There's no rain in the forecast until about 4 o'clock tomorrow, and it takes 24 hours to dry, and you're not supposed to move it or fold it up or put it away or anything like that until it's completely dry. So it's a little tricky at this time of the year, but I think I got the right day. Now, I wanted to do the solo as well today. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. I have a panel discussion for a charity event at 3:30 today online, and it's about 1:45, so I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time. However, the solo I can do in the basement if I need to. I don't really want to because you need a lot of ventilation, but I'll just get my fans going if that's the case. I worked very quickly, and as you can see, I finished waterproofing the entire side of the tent. I actually did both sides, and I ended up having some left over, so I did the back wall as well and got 3/4 of the way through before I ran out of waterproofing treatment. What I decided to do, because the temperature was starting to drop, was to put a space heater inside of the tent, and that will help to keep the temperatures up and dry the product. All right, it's 5:15, and I just got done with my video chat, I guess. Just came out quick to check the tent and make sure the heater's still running. It is. Most of the tent seems to be dry. I'm worried about this side. It's probably not as dry as I would like it to be, but I'm going to leave it up overnight with the heater running, and hopefully it dries, and I'll bring it in tomorrow just before it starts raining. So hopefully this solves the little bit of water that I have coming in, and I guess we won't know until we test it out. All right, just switched things up here. I brought the power bar out, and I have the space heater now rotating and the fan going. You can see the back wall. You can see I almost did the entire back wall here, which I didn't intend to do, but I just wanted to use up the last of the waterproofing because there wasn't much left in the can. And the only thing I didn't do are the front 2 doors. Because the front and the back panels are vertical, I don't really get much water issues or dripping or leaking. I mean, if it's going to drip, it's just going to drip straight down onto the ground. So these were the key areas, especially here where the cots hit, and here, this seam, so and around the windows. So I'm gonna leave it here for the night and leave the heater running, and hopefully everything's fine in the morning, and I'll come out and check it a couple of times tonight before I go to bed, just make sure everything's okay, but shouldn't be any problems. And I'm gonna close the door. It should get nice and warm in here with the heater going, because it's not that cold. It's about maybe 3 degrees right now, and hopefully that's enough to get this to dry overnight. All right, well, it is 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and the current temperature is 2 degrees, feels like -1. Just coming out to check on the tent. I just checked the forecast, and unfortunately the rain that was expected to come at 3 p.m. today, last night changed to noon, and this morning has now changed to 10 a.m. So I need to get this tent down. It looks like it's dried for the most part, which I'm very happy about. It's supposed to be up and able to dry for 24 hours, which I didn't completely have. But I would rather get it down before it rains. I'm not sure. I mean, I did waterproof it, so the point is to be able to have it in the rain. If I had another day, if it wasn't supposed to rain till tomorrow, I would probably leave it up just to see how it does. But because I'm not sure if it's 100% dried and cured, I guess, I'm going to take it inside and hang it up in the basement. I'm just going to go inside and take a look and see what's happening. Last night, I brought the power bar in here. I have 2 heaters going, and I have the fan going, and my thermometer is in here. As you can see, it is 13 degrees in the tent, even though it is 2 degrees outside. So it's said to apply the waterproofing treatment in 18 degrees Celsius or higher. It was not that temperature yesterday. It was only 4 degrees outside yesterday, but in the sunshine, my thermometer was reading 32 degrees yesterday in the sun. So I figured as long as I set it up in the sun, I should be all right. And from what I can tell, the tent is completely dry. So I'm quite happy with it. It does smell quite a bit in here. I'm hoping that that will dissipate as I air it out in the basement. I'm probably just going to hang it up in the basement and keep the fan going down there, and just continue to air it out. But from what I can see, everything looks to be completely dry. Yeah, I stuck a pillow in the stove jack hole just to keep the heat in, because I was finding it wasn't staying very warm in here yesterday. It was cool last night. It did go down to -4. So I'm glad to see that the temperature remained a fairly decent temperature, even though not 18 degrees, 13 degrees, I'll take it. And it is November. As I said, everything seems to be dry. This is the last panel that was done, and the one that should still be wet, if anything. I was globbing on the waterproofing at the end there quite drastically, because I was in a hurry, and I was just trying to get in the last contents of the can and finish it off, and I did make it almost all the way down to that seam there. So I guess we'll see how it works when I take it out this season, and I'm really hoping that it's a lot more waterproof than it has been. I will also be adding a coat of fireproofing spray to this panel here where the stove goes. However, the pipe does go out the side, and it goes out quite far, and I've never even remotely had an ember come anywhere near the tent. As you can see, it's perfectly clean. There's no anything. There isn't even any creosote drips or anything on the tent, because the pipe goes out so far. So while I have the tent up, I'm just going to take the opportunity to do a few things that I'd like to get done before the season starts. One of them is just taking this Sharpie and going along the poles where they extend to. There's already lines there, but they're starting to get a little bit worn and faint, and this just helps to set up the tent a lot more quickly when you're on site, by pulling the poles out, finding that black marker line, and then stopping there. Sometimes it gets a little bit tricky to find that, and I just want to make it really prominent where those are, so it's very easy to set up the tent when it's cold outside. Alright, it's 9 o'clock and the sky is darkening. I just reread the instructions on the can, and it says allow at least 24 hours to dry before exposing to rain or folding for storage. So the rain is coming, and it's going to take a bit for me to get this down and bring it inside. So I'm gonna have to do that. Thanks so much for coming on this little side adventure with me, and I will keep you posted on how it goes.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button. Also click the bell for notifications. If you'd like to get more information on the stuff I use on my trips, please check out my website at CamperChristina.com. Thanks. Bye.